hello. I just saw Joakim Noah.
I know. That's why we were late to stay.
Go Gators!
Are there any Gators fans in the audience?
Come on, Gators. Are you really? You do? What are you doing here? That's so fun. Isn't this like Gainesville?
Looks a lot like it.
Not really.
It does look like where I went to school, though. Santa Barbara. Very.
I see ya.
I love a beach. Oh, we got more Gators everywhere. Hi, everybody. How are we doing? Hot? But
Okay.
we're in the south of France. We're fine. Oh, my God. They're everywhere. Well, as Akbar was kind enough to introduce us as, we are the dynamic duo behind the Calm Down podcast.
Yikes.
That's what it says, at least on the placard. I'm Charissa. She's Erin. And it's nice to be with you guys today. We have a podcast called Calm Down. If you haven't heard it, please subscribe, listen, and
rate
like.
and review. And thank you so much to Sport Beach for having us, Stagwell for having us. We really, really appreciate it. Our plus ones appreciate it as well.
If you listen to the podcast, you know who the plus ones are. And if you don't know, they'll tell you by the time this thing is over.
They're up there somewhere, probably 2 or 3 deep. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to have some fun. We're going to interview some incredible people, and then we're going to just riff. I haven't seen this girl. She's been traveling the world and doing things, so we're going to catch up here on stage, and we're happy that you guys are with us. So shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, without further ado, joining us today is Ed Pilkington, the Chief Marketing and Innovative Officer of Diageo North America, the powerhouse behind brands like Johnny Walker, Guinness, and Don Julio.
All brands
Ed?
we love. Hi, Ed. What's up?
Ed?
Hi, Charissa. Hello.
As we were telling Ed backstage, last time I saw Ed, we were in, I don't know, Nashville or something?
That's right, we were in Nashville.
Yeah, we were in Nashville
Yeah.
doing some fun stuff with Diageo, but we always love seeing Ed, as I know most of you probably do if you consume the spirits and flavors that Ed is behind. So
Or
Ed,
seeing Ed on your shelves, you know,
Exactly.
your brand.
Ed is also,
great.
one fun fact you might not know about Ed is that he's a huge soccer/football fan for us over here in Europe. A big fan, not of Manchester United,
Not of Manchester
but
United.
of Manchester City. So Ed, the question is, what is it about sports and culture surrounding sports that pairs so well with a brand like Diageo? Because you guys do a lot of integration with sports, hence our relationships with you before.
Exactly. Well, it's a big part that sports and having a drink responsibly go together really well.
Yeah.
Whether you're a player and it's after the game, after the match, enjoying, celebrating, discussing a disappointment, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
As a fan at the stadium, at a fan whether you're at home, whether you're out and about, watching at a watch party, whatever it might be, there's that integration because it's about people coming together to share a common passion.
Mm-hmm.
And our business, drinking responsibly,
Yeah.
is about celebrating life. It's about having good times with people you love, people you care for, friends and family, and sport's just a huge part of that. And that's why we get involved. It's having a Guinness before the rugby if you're in the UK. It's about, having a Crown Royal at an NFL game, whatever it might be. It's
Ingrained in the memories are those spirits.
huge,
Yeah.
that's right, absolutely. And it is about creating memories.
I remember, I have a memory back in 2021. I had a chance to do a Crown Royal ad with you guys at Thanksgiving, and that's when you made your mark. You began your relationship with the NFL. It's all about that, sports and culture, like you guys were just talking about. Since you have began your relationship and worked with the NFL, just what's that been like and the powerhouse that is in the States?
That's great. Well, the NFL has been brilliant for us because it just gives us access to literally millions of people. It's the obvious statistic, 100 million people watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So our ability to access people, I don't need to tell you guys, the viewing numbers are impressive. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Most watched sporting event ever.
exactly.
Sorry.
Sure
Just wanted to
is.
throw
So
that
our
out there.
ability, to access consumers basically through just the media opportunity, but then at the stadia, but then what we can do around it, so at the stadia, around it,
Integrations.
the integration's really
Yeah.
important. So that, the Super Bowl, we're visible, but it's the integrations we do around it also that make a big difference on Crown Royal, on Don Julio, all those brands.
You mentioned integrations and switching gears, pun intended here, Ed, to Formula One, which has been unbelievable for anyone that's seen the documentaries or gotten behind the sport. I mean, it's been big forever, but for us in the States, maybe we're a little slower to, partaking in Formula One. But now with the places like Miami, Las Vegas, things like that, you teamed up with Trophy House and the experience at Miami Grand Prix. What was the goal for you guys there?
The goal simply was to give people who'd gone down to Miami a really good time. I mean, it
Not
was
a hard
not
sell.
hard.
Miami's, as you know, Miami's a big party.
Yeah.
And people were down there enjoying themselves. It was an opportunity for us to access lots of people who, candidly, Trophy House was a bit more high net worth. So we took our high net worth spirits, our Don Julio 42, Don Julio Ultima, which is like even more expensive, some of our expensive whiskies. And we kind of sampled them, tasted them, candidly, the opportunity to sell them, rare whiskies. So it's all about actually accessing a lot of people who were down in Miami for a really special big weekend, basically.
That's a good
so
place, that's a good place to do it, Ed.
Sometimes we do it. It varies by brand, but we nibble around the edges on Formula One. We're not, we've done a lot of stuff over the years with Formula One, but it was a cool thing to do.
I was going to say, how'd it go? I heard it was a hit.
Was fun.
We saw everything on Instagram, during it.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, it was great. No, it was great. It's just an amazing weekend. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, the weekend down there, because everyone just throws themselves into it, so it was great.
Full immersion.
And people watched the Grand Prix, which was a good Grand Prix, with some fantastic cocktails. It was pretty good.
We talked about what you guys have done in the NFL. Of course, you work with the other football, soccer as well. Talk about how you approach their audience versus what you do in the States with us with the NFL.
Well, it's just about tailoring to your audience. It's about knowing your consumer.
Yeah.
So, and actually, even with the NFL, if you look at the NFL stats, within spirits, 3 of the 4 most consumed brands during NFL games, either at Stadia or at home, are Crown Royal, Smirnoff, and Captain Morgan. So we know that. So we know our consumers are watching. And then it's just about tailoring the message to your consumers, whether it's through content, whether it's through activations at the Stadia, whether it's through activations in town, and just knowing your consumers. But it is a slightly different consumer. The passion levels are the same, whether you're a Seahawks fan, whether you're a Dolphins fan, or whether in soccer, whether you're a City fan or a Liverpool fan. There's still that level of passion. So how you tap in to consumers' passion. So we have an NFL partnership which gives us access across all 50 states, but then we physically sponsor 24 teams. So that allows us to really access each of those teams, the fan bases within those teams, to do real, messaging to those teams, content to those teams, and really tap into those audiences. So we kind of do big national stuff, and then you really get local, basically. So that's how it works with the NFL. Soccer, we've got some, we're sponsoring FIFA, the World Cup next year.
I was just going to ask you about that, because I just came from Miami, and we did the aforementioned Miami. And we did a big preview, sort of, because Fox has the World Cup next year, and a big kickoff to that, because it was a year to the date of when that's going to happen. What is your relationship with them, and how are you going to sort of integrate all of Diageo products into something as massive as a U.S. World Cup?
So we're the official partner of FIFA in the Americas, so basically from Alaska down. And we're basically doing it because it's just going to be the biggest sporting event, as you guys know, that's hit the States, Mexico, and Canada.
Bigger than ever.
104
games this year.
It's crazy.
Someone told me, I was just with somebody from Telemundo at another panel. They said it's like doing 3 Super Bowls in one day.
Exactly.
That's insane.
That's what our bosses will also say, is they're already stressing about it.
So we just got to be there. I mean, it's because people are going to be at Stadia, they're going to be watching at home, all the watch parties, the fan fests. So we kind of just want to show up, and we want people to enjoy. We're going to lead with Casamigos, with our tequila brand. Yeah. We'll do a little bit of stuff with Don Julio, another tequila brand. So we're pretty focused about what brands we're going to use.
It's going to be huge.
But it's a huge opportunity, It's going to be great. I think the whole country is going to love it.
Well, it's the first time that the World Cup has been in the United States in over 30 years. We weren't born yet, so we haven't been able to partake in that. But it'll be big.
You don't remember 94.
Oh, so sad.
Alexi Lawless?
Another thing we're very excited about in the United States, and actually globally as well, is women's sports. We've seen, and it's been exciting for us being, females that broadcast sports, seeing also female fans be a little bit more engaged as of late, and everybody, that's a win for all of us. In terms of women's sports and you guys, how do you get involved? How do you see that going in the future?
So in the States, and actually globally, I'll start with the States, it's really important. We want to be supporting women's sports. It's tremendous. I think the progress we've seen over the last 5-10 years is amazing. I don't need to tell you guys that. We were a founding partner of Angel City in LA, which was great.
Wonderful.
So one of the 5 core founding partners, which is brilliant. We've done stuff with Gotham, who have done well, actually, obviously been champions, which again has been brilliant. And actually, if you go to Europe, we're the Guinness, which traditionally sponsored rugby, men's rugby. We're now the official sponsor of women's rugby as well, which is really big, which is a big thing. And women's rugby's on a roll as well. So, and there's other stuff we're doing. So it's really important that we're there. It's really important that we're supporting women's sport. It's growing. And also, it's because, back to the first question, it's also an opportunity for people to come together, have a good time, enjoy our brands and all that over sport. I was
going to ask Ed, what's his favorite drink?
Yeah.
Come on now.
So I joined the company because I loved Guinness. I drank Guinness as a student. I'm a big, if you ask most people who know me, I'm a big Tanqueray drinker. I love it. It's my British roots.
Yeah.
But
I love the bottle. That bottle
but it's
is
beautiful.
so
It's classic.
gorgeous.
Yeah. But you know, Don Julio's here. We're doing lots of stuff this week with
You're
Don
busy
Julio.
this weekend.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on.
Got a lot of stuff going on.
It's going to be great.
We only have a minute left with you, but we love some rapid fire questions
Okay.
real quick. Okay, we're going to see how many we can get in. Erin and I on our podcast like to have fun with things. Here's the question. Airport cocktails at 9 a.m. Cheers to that or out on that?
Can't do that, no.
Don't do that.
Really?
Unless you've flown from Australia to LA and your body's all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah, but
well,
no.
There goes my social life.
Meetings that last over 2 hours. Cheers to that or out on that?
No, bad idea. You got to follow the 90-minute rule, haven't you? It's like a soccer match. At the end of 90 minutes, you're out.
90 minutes is long, too.
Yeah.
Ice in white wine. Cheers to that or out on
Well,
that?
I obviously can't really promote white wine because we don't sell wine.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But
But
if I
if you
was
did-
drinking it, hypothetically,
Yes.
if it's really warm like this, yeah, what the hell? You should enjoy your drinks how you want to.
Exactly.
People get
I
too
love
precious
that.
about it.
Relating to the younger generation, using slang like lit or bet. Cheers to that, or are you
Cheers,
out on
whatever.
that?
Yeah, I'm good on that, yeah.
Well, cheers
Language
to,
evolves.
Cheers to Ed Pilkington.
Thank you.
Which is, I don't know why
You got it
anyone
right.
doesn't get it right. We love Ed.
Thanks, Charissa.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much
Erin.
for being
Thanks a lot.
here. And Ed,
Cheers
see,
to you.
I'll see you in Las Vegas. Yes, exactly. It is in Vegas. Good to see you. Get over here, Ed. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Ed.
Good to see you. Woo! Ed Pilkington, everybody. All right, how we
I
doing
need a
out here?
Gatorade towel.
Do you guys want one of these cards as a fan? I'll throw it out. All right. Now,
That kind of looks like Sean Payton right there. I know it's not. Front row, Gatorade towel over glasses. Yeah.
Sean?
I was like, Sean?
how's the team looking this year? How we doing? No? Good.
QB
Oh, God,
okay?
he gave us a...
Great.
We saw Sean McVay last night, too.
We
A
did.
doppelganger.
That was
At
fake.
that. We love playing that game. Is that Larry David? All right, guys, here we go. Keeping it moving, and we are so excited to introduce you to our next guest, Jane Wakely. She is PepsiCo's EVP, Chief Consumer and Marketing Officer, and last but not least, Chief Growth Officer for International Foods. Please welcome Jane Wakely.
She's busy.
She's
Hi,
busy.
Jane. Jane
So
just said
busy.
that's so many titles. It's ridiculous.
No, it's,
That's perfect.
you're so important.
You
You need all the
should.
titles. We had the pleasure of hanging out with Jane backstage, and I just peppered her with my father's affinity for Pepsi products. From as early as I could remember, he had a Pepsi in his hand. He's going to be so excited to know that I met you. How's the week been, or the few days been since you got here?
Incredible. It's always wonderful to be here. So much inspiration, so much creativity, so much to learn.
Can I ask, before we get to these questions we were told to ask, just you having all these titles and being a woman
Yes.
really, really resonates
Yes.
with us. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it. It does.
You know what? I hate my title, and I normally
Well, who
alter it.
cares? You deserve all of it.
I want to be Chief Smiles Officer. That's
Oh,
it. That's
I
it.
love
That's
that.
my proposal. Yeah? Yeah, much better.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions for you.
Okay.
But I'd like to start with, what are some of your favorite, like you have so many things as evidenced by your title, and PepsiCo represents so many different brands, so many different specific things within the brand. What are some of your favorites that still stand out today and your memories from how many events have you been to here?
What, today?
No, in your years of
Oh,
covering.
in my year? Oh, I've been here since 2012.
So 2012.
Wow.
So what are some of the
Yeah.
memories and things that stand
Yeah.
out the most to you about whether it's specific within your brand or the event itself here at Can Line?
I think for me, what I love most every year is like walking the work. If you go into the Palais, if you walk the work, if you really look at others' case studies, I always come away with thinking, I got to do better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're inspired.
And inspired, yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sure. And there's been some nice red carpet moments too, for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, any you
Yeah.
can elaborate on? Tell us about?
No, look, it's always a celebration of the work, right? The
Yeah.
creativity, the partners, the partnerships. And yeah, there have been some special moments, a few wins over the years, but I'm going to champion the PepsiCo ones, given I'm here with PepsiCo.
I love it. And we also
Yeah.
talked about this backstage as
Yeah.
well. Some new data that's been released. You guys just put out a report about women's football, of course, soccer to all of us in the United States. It's about to explode, obviously, right? 800 million fans by 2030. how does Pepsi plan on being a part of this, connecting with the fans?
Yeah, look, I mean, this is a festival of creativity, and creativity starts by understanding people, right? And I don't know about you, but, you know, it's not a new insight, but women's sport is on fire.
Yep.
On fire, right? And the reality is PepsiCo, spotted that way before I joined. So we were the first in with the UEFA Champions League. We've sponsored WNBA 29 years and counting. We've just signed up Formula One, F1 Academy, so we're on it. But we've launched this new report with Nielsen because we think it's called Undervalued to Unstoppable. And what it shows is that the audience is going to explode in the next few years. 800 million fans by 2030, which will put it a top 5 global sport.
Well, along those same, and contributing to that is the World Cup. We talked to Ed about the World Cup for men in 2026, the Women's World Cup in 2027.
Yeah.
The numbers last year for Women's World Cup shattered records.
Yes.
So what will you guys be doing specifically that you can share with us, of course, to sort of expand that growth in that partnership?
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, I've just come actually from Champions League. So we did a game changer event, we called it, at the Women's Champions League this year in Lisbon. Was anyone there? Was anyone? Yeah. Okay. My husband is an Arsenal fan, and you know the Arsenal women's team took it home. So it was such an exciting moment.
Your husband's like, I love my wife's job. This is great.
Yeah, I know.
The perks of
Now
the
my
job.
boss was a Barca fan, so that was a little bit awkward for a few minutes. But it was incredible. And what we do at these big events is we have a portfolio, right? So Gatorade is our performance hydration brand.
Love.
And our plan with Gatorade at something like Champions League is we'll be on the pitch. Okay, we'll be on the pitch with the athletes. But our Pepsi and our Lay's brand is something like Champions League is with the fans. So we do massive brand experience events, much like Ed was saying. We want to be there in the sporting moments. And with FIFA, we're focusing on our foods brands, actually.
Gonna be great.
So foods is, we're doing FIFA in Brazil in 2027.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Staying on women's soccer, top 5 global sports, it's in the top 5. What would you say to the people that still haven't bought in or haven't jumped in yet? What are they missing?
I don't know. Get off the sidelines. That's what I say. Get off the sidelines. The ROI on women's sports is incredible. Yeah. You know, because despite the fan base, women's sport only gets 13% of the sponsorship. 13%. That's ridiculous. Yeah. So we see it as a great investment in growth.
This is not on our itinerary, but just sitting here and listening to you, and even the little bit of time we got with you backstage, to Erin's point in the introduction, you're a badass. And it is so inspiring. Erin and I are so inspired when we see, you know, female CEOs, EVPs, chief marketing, any specific title, just women supporting women. And so I have to ask you, who's been someone in your life, or what's the best piece of advice that you've gotten as you've climbed your way to the top of this corporate ladder? Because it's not always easy, and we always help one another and sort of lift each other up. Maybe if you don't mind sharing an experience like that, because we're very inspired by you.
We're kind of in a man's world, too, so we get it.
No, for sure. Gosh. Okay, we're going off script here, right? Let me think about it. Look, I've worked for incredible women and men throughout my career. And I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned, actually, I'm just thinking I have a mentor still today from 20 years ago. She's incredible. She's called Fiona Dawson. And she was an incredible leader at my old company, and I was on maternity leave at the time, right? And I was determined to take the full 9 months. That's 9 months in Europe. And, you know, it was a commitment to my family. And I remember she rang me, and she said, Jane, this incredible promotion's come up. I want you to go for it. And I was literally just had a baby, and I was thinking, I can't for this reason, you know, that was what was playing in my head. And I am so grateful to her because she said, okay, no worries, but I want you to think about why you're saying no, and let's talk again in 48 hours. And I shared with her all of those kind of barriers. Some of them were real, but some of them were in my head, perceived barriers. And what she did is she made policy personal as a leader. One of my barriers was, if I get the job, I'll have to come back quickly. I'll have to take it, right? And she was like, you know what? No. You're going to stay, if you're the best person for the job, I will personally cover that job until you come back.
Wow.
And so for me, actually, I'm going to relate it to women's sport because for me, this is personal. This is personal. And we need to not only sponsor these events, but we need to put the excitement, the reach, the entertainment value of our brands right at the heart of
I
it.
love
It's
that
the right
so
thing to
much.
do.
Making policy personal. That's
Yeah.
beautiful because, yeah, you can get wrapped up in the work, and we are,
Yeah.
you know, so entrenched in our professions, but it becomes more than just a job. It becomes family. So when it is personal,
Yeah.
you know, people know that, and you can feel that, and
You
the
can feel
consumer
it.
knows that too.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, we heard that. Thank you. You're a fan of the podcast, which
I
we're
love
so
it.
grateful for.
Did they lie?
Yeah,
So we'd
no,
be
no,
remiss
not at all.
if we didn't have some fun with you because we got you for a
Yeah.
few more minutes here.
Sure.
So as you know, we talk about a myriad of different topics on our podcast, but
Yeah.
I love karaoke. I mean, I cannot sing. It's embarrassing. I don't believe anyone that can sing should go to karaoke. Like, you should just go to The Voice or like American Idol. But anyway.
You have somebody you're good friends with that does this.
I know,
Toby Gonzalez.
And I tell Toby Gonzalez, I do not like that. So here's the question for
Okay.
you. Karaoke song, what is it? What is your song when you get up there and sing?
I have to go. This is embarrassing, but if I'm feeling cool, I try and go Coldplay, but that's too difficult.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
So if I'm feeling cheesy, ABBA. That's the safe
Okay.
thing.
I like that you're willing to go for the hard stuff, though.
What's the Coldplay song?
Oh, Yellow.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Those are
I
songs
know.
I know.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
How many Pepsis have you had before you do that? Okay, on this question, I like strawberry cream cheese. I do. I don't care. How about you? Strawberry cream cheese on a bagel and a toasted bagel also.
I'm a bacon and eggs girl.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
so am I. But
Yeah.
if you have to do a bagel, what's your spread?
Okay, all right. Philly and salmon.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Not light.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Okay. I do something that really bothers Erin, and I'm sure a lot of other people will agree with her on this. I will skip forward episodes in a series because I'm like, all right, we get it. I'll go to the end. I'll watch the last one and see if I want to go back and watch the previous ones. I know it's weird. Would you do that, or have you ever done that?
So hilarious. I do that with books.
Okay. See?
Yeah,
You get it.
I get it.
Okay.
Why? Impatient for the result.
Thank
How do you even
Yeah.
follow what's going on?
Yes,
Well, you catch
thank
up
you.
later.
Oh, my God.
But
Jane-
quite
Jane
often
gets
you
it.
don't need
Yeah.
the 45 chapters
That's
to
true.
catch up.
I'm so glad
know.
you see me. Okay, good. I felt alone up here until now.
It's those introductions I skip, and then I'm like, my God, how long is this? Sorry
Yeah.
to anyone who's an author. Okay, yeah, you already.
I think
a
I should
TV
ask you
show.
a question.
Sure.
Go.
So calm down or get down. Okay, I'm going to name some. PepsiCo products.
Ooh,
Go.
yes, I love this game.
Let's see what you know.
Great.
Flaming hot.
Yes.
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 Okay.
But
Get
I
As long
can't
as
do
I have
it.
a napkin. I love anything hot, though.
I can't.
Oh.
You can.
It hurts
Okay.
my stomach.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's go for a different one. Let's go for. Okay. Ooh. What about Propel? That seems to be your
Yes.
sort of
I
thing.
like
You
Propel.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Last one. Okay. One of our new brands, Poppy. What do you reckon?
Yes.
I haven't tried it yet.
I have. It's very good. And I got to tell you, I was in Target the other day. I saw the sweats. There's a full integration of Target sweats and sweatshirts. I love what's going on there. And the girl that you have as the model's great. She's great. And the commercials. I could go on and on about Poppy. You have to be 700 other places today. So we're
I
going to
do.
let you
Thank
go.
you.
But we feel so grateful that you stopped by. And thank you for humoring us with the stories that you have and also inspiring us that policy is personal. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Chris.
And you like
Appreciate
red
it.
Gatorade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
I'm a
could
citrus
use some of
cooler.
that right
I
now.
know. I'm going to take a towel. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Hey, do you have a towel back there? I'm going to shove it up my dress.
Whoa.
Just kidding. Can you get me one?
We're
wow.
shy.
You know what this feels like? This feels like Tampa Bay in September.
Oh, yeah, my
And I'm
girl.
trying to be fantastic, and
You're doing it. I'm so impressed that you have no marks on that.
It's starting
Cream
in the tummy.
dress.
Don't worry, it'll come out orange from the
The spray tan. Erin got
awkward
a
spray tan in
So,
the UK.
Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
For those of you that have just joined us, my name is Charissa. This is Erin. We host a podcast called Calm Down. It's not our day job, but it's something that we like to do. And we always have, yay, thank you.
Heyo.
Thank you.
Thanks, you up there.
Yes, you.
Nice to see you.
In the back row. Adorable.
If you guys want to become part of our show, sell ads, you can see our group up top. Perfect.
So Erin and I met working in sports. I got hired at ESPN. I was so nervous. I was scared. I was walking into what was my first day of, quote, school, And this one comes running out the door of the Bristol campus, gives me a massive hug. At this point, her and I have only crossed paths here and there for different events. I didn't really know her. And she looked at me and she said, I got you. Anything you need, I'm here for you. And we have been fast friends ever since, and now best friends. So what I tell that story just to give you guys a little background on the impetus of the podcast, because her and I respectively have worked in the industry for 15, going on 20 plus years at this point. So to have an ally in this business is awesome. And then also we started the podcast because it's fun to talk about all things, sports and motherhood and all sorts of things that are going on. So
yeah, we don't get a lot of time in our everyday jobs. I get 15 seconds. You at least get to talk a minute and a half before you have to throw it to somebody else. So it's kind of nice to get our personalities and maybe our thoughts out there.
Our attitudes out there.
We have people that write in every week, and we love them so much for doing this. We call this our pregame, get it?
Yep.
And we're going to answer some pregame questions
Here, doll, you
right
want
now.
this?
Nope. I got it on my face.
Perfect.
It's going to come through the dress soon. All right, Emma Eckert, what's your favorite thing about sports reporting? You go.
My favorite thing about being a sports broadcaster is the teammates that I have. I'm lucky enough to host 2 pregame shows, one for Amazon, one for Fox. And it's the guys that I get to sit on the desk with, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Tony Gonzalez, Julian Edelman, Charles Woodson, just to name a few. So Gronk, Michael Strahan, so on and so forth. So for me, those guys have become brothers, they become family. And when we go on the road, like you do every single week, you spend more time with them than you do your own family. So for me, it's all about the relationships that I get as a result of the job that we have.
Yeah, we have amazing fellowship on our crew. This was Tom Brady's first year with us, which was super exciting. I think he did an amazing job. We called an awesome Super Bowl with most watched Super Bowl ever.
Yep.
So that was huge. But mine is to have a front row seat to the best of the best that's ever done it. To be able to watch the Philadelphia Eagles defense just absolutely pummel a Kansas City Chiefs team that I'm very fond of.
Eagles fans out here? Oh, right.
Okay, wow, let's
Big
clean it up.
Fangio
Feel like I'm in Philly right now with that language. Anywho, is Santa here? No, it's amazing to watch these guys that you become close with. You sometimes meet their families, hear their stories. To be able to see them up close and personal do the job is fucking awesome.
Next question. We love anonymous questions. If you ever want to submit one, just go to our Instagram account. Submit any questions you have. New job. Boss is so fake. Can't trust him and hard to be around. How do I deal? My father had many things that he said growing up, but he always said the coach is not always right, but he's the coach. This is your boss. If he's fake, lean in. Like, don't try to resist it because that's only going to make your life harder. Try to find some things that maybe your boss does like. If he's an Eagles fan, if he's a Chiefs fan, whatever it is, try to find some commonalities and look past the fakeness, but find things that you can relate to him on. Or at least at the end of the day, let's be honest, everybody loves talking about themselves. Find things that he likes, and then he'll talk about them, and he'll think by proxy that you're great because he's only talking about himself. I'm also a therapist if you need me.
It's your boss. Do you want to keep your job?
Exactly.
Put your head down and do your work.
Yep.
It's tough. You don't have to trust him. He's your boss. Just do your job.
Woo!
Zeke Omaha, I freak out at airports when cancellations happen. What is the first move you make? Don't go to the line. Get right on the app and start looking for the next plane. I thrive off this. It's like a game show to me. I absolutely love to figure out, how do I get on the next plane? Where's my hotel situation? Getting a car here? Call me. I'll do it.
I was just going to say call Erin because she's fixing everything. Me, I'm just like, I'll just go to the airport bar and hang out with Ed's friends at Diageo, all the Diageo products. I'm not as quick of a like, oh, I'm going to fix this. I'm just like, well, it's canceled. I'll go to the whatever. What town are we in? Or no, can we have fun there? But
I can
call
figure it
Erin. Livia Jennifer asks, this has been my first season as the in-stadium host for Nashville. We love that. It's a dream come true. I've received lots of positive feedback. Congratulations, Livia, on the job, by the way. But I've also been told my voice can be a little high-pitched, especially when I get excited. Any advice on grounding your voice in high-energy moments? Any advice on handling criticism from the public? All right, so 2 questions here. We'll start with the voice question. I had a voice coach. Did you have a voice coach starting out?
Yeah, but it didn't work for me.
Yeah? How did you develop.
My voice is awful, and everyone
Why do
they
you
always
say
see that
that?
because everybody says to me, "Oh, I recognize that voice." I get it. I'm not Delilah After Dark. I'm not Kevin Burkhardt. I'm not Al Michaels. I'm not trying to be. I'm just really excited. I love doing what I do. I don't care anymore. But the thing I need to stop, saying
I say that.
sounding like a Valley girl, which is insane. Knock it off. But I don't think I come across like that on air. The only time I get super excited is post game.
Yeah.
If it's like
in
a
the moment.
a major game-winning situation, something like that. But hold the mic close to your mouth, lower your voice. You don't have to scream because then your voice gets really, really high. Just keep the mic close to your mouth. Talk normal.
I get a
That's
little
from my dad.
I get a little too. Yes, Erin's dad. How many Emmy awards has Steve won?
This is foundation, not spray tan.
So many.
A lot
of Emmys.
No.
I had a voice coach. I think it was really important early on for me to have authority in my voice. I kind of have a deeper voice, anyways. But yeah, that I don't know. I would just say slow down. That's always my thing. When I get excited, I'm like, I naturally talk fast. So my advice to you, that I've not coined the phrase advice, to Olivia, is to just slow down, take a beat, and then also take a deep breath before you're going to do the report so you're not out of breath after making it. The other part of her question was any advice on handling criticisms from the public. We're very good at this. 20 years in, there's nothing that people haven't said. We talked about it on our podcast one week, actually. We actually know what they're already going to say about us. So it doesn't bother me anymore. You?
It bothers me. Of course it does. I'm human. But you got to move on. It's hard. I've had an athlete tell me I could be in an arena stadium with 100,000 people screaming my name, and I see one thing on social media, or you see one thing on people.com or the New York Post. It ruins your day. It ruins my day. But you got to move on. You really do. Because in the end, all I care about making happy are my bosses, the athletes, the coaches, the general managers, the team owners.
Yeah, I just think like there's never going to be anyone that's 100% on you. You don't like everyone, not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay. Next question, gal. We got an anonymous.
I dropped mine, sorry.
No problem.
Anonymous, turmoil between my husband and his sibling. Stay out of it or get involved? I was looking for my husband.
Oh, the plus ones are up there.
Yeah. It's hard. You have to be there as a partner. Sometimes you have to be careful of what you say because that'll always be their sibling. I think you have to kind of temper it with what kind of situation you're dealing with.
Yeah, that's tricky.
So tricky.
Or like the mother-in-law. Anyone have any of those situations? Thank God, don't have that anymore. I had that before. Oof, we don't even need that. Next question, we've got Jill M. Henson, 29. How to deal with a friend that needs a whole day with you every time she wants to hang?
Just say you don't have it. Say I have a few hours and I got stuff going on. You just have to be honest.
I think that's also one thing that we talk about a lot on this podcast, that just cut to the chase. Like, don't feel like you have to please everybody all the time. And if she's your real friend, then if you can only hang out for a couple hours, that should be enough. I mean, I love that she wants to hang out all day, but like...
It doesn't have to be all day.
Things going on.
Yeah. All right, Carrie. Whoa, this is a long one. My brother and I have always been best friends. Now on his second marriage, he's never had a great taste in women. His current wife, who he has 2 kids with, never makes our family a priority. Wow, this is long. Rarely comes around for anything, constantly showing up to events by himself. Basically saying...
Just go to the end. Skip to the end.
Yeah, I'm looking for the thing. Okay, his first wife was the same way. They didn't have kids. It was easier for divorce. I'm assuming, they have kids. Do I say something? What do you do? That's also really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Family stuff gets messy. We'll get back to Carrie.
There's kids involved.
We'll get back. Yeah, there's kids involved in families. We'll get back to Carrie on that one later. It is a great question, but it warrants actually answering with some more time.
But let us know how it goes, Carrie, if you do decide to confront your brother.
Yeah. For those of you just joining us, welcome. We are co-hosts of the Calm Down podcast. We just... Oh, I'm sweating. Don't worry about it. It's all hidden underneath the dress. But the whole point of our podcast is to have fun, talk about things that's going on in our daily life, answer questions from viewers. And I think one of the things Erin and I have done the podcast now for, are we going on 5 years? Is that we always love, in whatever respective stadium that we're at, or at an airport. Got Greg the other day from Miami, ran into Greg, said he loved the podcast. I love when you guys see us out and tell us that you love us, because sometimes you don't even know who's listening. So thank you. If you are fans of the podcast, and if you've never listened, please tune in. We just answered some pregame questions, which we do every week, and then we also talk about what's going on in our life. This one has been on the road. So fill everybody in. I haven't seen Erin in over a month, and so I was so excited to see her here. You've been busy doing a bunch of stuff, gal.
Yeah, I was just in the UK for 3 weeks filming a new game show for Fox that's going to come out in the fall, so look out for that. I think it's going to be great. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. It's with Ken Jeong. It's called 99 to Beat. It's hilarious.
I can't wait.
But it was 15, 16-hour days, and that's really a long time. It was a fun time, but it was long. Also, being away from my family was really hard. Trying to FaceTime with my kid who's on a different, totally different time zone,
was that
different
9
country.
hours or something?
Yeah, 8 hours.
Yeah.
And he is not doing well with the phone. The second you put it in front of him, he wants to start playing with the apps.
Yeah.
He's always doing open share on Spotify.
What's that?
Don't know what that means. He wants to share the app. I'm like, what's going on? So, and then when you take it away, he starts screaming, and then it's like, all right, I love you. So that was really hard. Food situation, a little tough because our hours were always different. But I think the toughest part about being away, and we talked about this on our last week podcast, I have zero swagger in Europe. None.
I know, me
I
neither.
scream American.
Yep.
It's awful and
Yep.
embarrassing. But coming here, your better half, Steve, my husband, Jarrett, and myself, we all failed the luggage weight
over
test.
the weight. Anybody else have to buy another suitcase because
It was
of all the crap
fine
you
when
have?
I left the States,
I
but
don't-
then here it was dramatic.
I was leaving Miami. You were coming from somewhere else. Steve was coming from LA. She goes, you're 13 pounds overweight on your... 13 pounds? That's max weight. I mean, as a child. So I'm the girl at the ticket desk. The luggage is open.
Same.
Shit's everywhere. And it's like, I'm screaming like, who's the person that's never traveled? We travel every week. But the guidelines are different. One airline, it's 50 pounds. One airline,
I
it's
know.
75 pounds. Can't keep it straight. There's stuff falling out everywhere. So I was the person that had to go buy a new suitcase. And you're going to have to do
I
it too.
pulled my cubes out. I was walking around with them like they were, wait for it, pocketbooks.
Sure.
And your better half did that. Mine did it. And so now we all have to find a Toomey.
This is what I also want to know. And again, I'm open to all things, but there's not any universal set travel stuff. So when you come here, now I got to put all of my...
Deodorant you lost.
I had no deodorant. Well, luckily I have it now, but I mean, that was a problem. But all of this stuff has to go in like the little bag, and we don't do that in the States anymore. So
Yeah.
I and Erin, admittingly, are those people that travel when we're over in Europe and are very American. So we're going to get better at it. Are you guys good at it? No. Okay, good. All right. I feel seen. Thank you.
Well, plus I was traveling for 3 weeks, so I had all that shit. You're going off after this. We are going on vacation.
We are going
after
on
this
vacation, and we
together.
have no idea where we're going, which is great. I mean, we know the cities we're going, but our better halves have planned the vacation, which is such a dream. Because she's a better planner than I am. I don't like planning anything. So just tell me where to go, tell me when to be there, and I'll make sure my attitude is good.
But I will say this about the attitude. It's going to be great. The trip is going to be great, but we literally cannot complain about one thing
No, 'cause we
because
didn't
it was
plan
going
it.
to be like, well, wait a minute. I sent you emails.
Yes.
I sent you information, and you never got back to me about it.
Nope.
So this is going to be a real foot in the mouth moment. This is going to be like, it's so great.
We need to have a code word, so every time we don't like something, we just say it to each other and not to them. Since they did all the planning, we can't complain about anything. If the air in the hotel, this one has a huge issue with air.
Obviously.
If there needs air conditioning on at all times. But yeah, we're just gonna go, we're gonna have a great attitude, and we will report back on the Calm Down podcast in 2 weeks how the vacation went that we had no input on. It's gonna be fine.
This is another thing.
Want me to help you?
I'm not great about this. This is a whole
What's
UK
wrong?
thing. The things are attached, and I just don't do well with. Our code word at Super Bowl was zipper.
Oh yeah.
What will our code word be for the vacation? Knock it off?
I don't know. Can. Why not? We're here. We'll think
Can
of
it.
something. But yeah, so we're excited about vacation. You and I don't get to travel a lot together. I mean, we do work.
We have done it though.
This
is actually the anniversary of our London trip.
That's true. We did go to London last year. We went to the Taylor Swift Eras Tour concert. Anyone been to that? Yeah, right?
Hell yeah.
We made that happen. That was a 48-hour turnaround for you. Had the absolute best time. So that was a year ago. And yeah, I guess once a year we do a little vacation, which is so nice.
Tulum the year before.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll look forward to that. Also have a big football season, of course, coming up. Found out we'll be together week 2. You know, how many weeks of your schedule do you know?
Pretty much, a little over half, I would think.
Half. So week 2 will be in Kansas City. Erin's calling that game for Fox.
It's our biggest game, I think, on this schedule. It's the rematch of last year's Super Bowl. The Eagles visiting KC.
Yeah.
We're so excited about that.
Really?
You're coming.
I'm going to come. The pregame show is going to do that. We always love when we get to do games together. We get NFC Championship, Super Bowl, and then this one. So that'll be fun. What else are we looking forward to? We got a lot.
Yeah, I just think it's like one day at a time, like the athletes always tell us. We're going on a trip. How has it been usually when you travel with Steve? What's that like?
Steve is a great traveler. He's so...
The passport situation. We do agree about this.
True. That's true. I am not responsible with my passport and or wallet or anything. I left my phone. One of our production assistants, B, when I was in Miami for the World Cup show I was doing, she goes, I got back to the hotel, and she goes, oh, security has your phone. I go, oh, I left it? Like, I wasn't even paying attention. Like, I am very responsible with a lot of things, not responsible with others, including the passport. So when I travel with Steve, I'm always like, can you carry this? Because I'm going to inevitably lose it.
There's a lot of paperwork. I feel like you have to have the boarding pass, the passport, the work visa, and I just couldn't, that's why I was glad we were back together, Jarrett, we finally saw each other on the road.
But I will, hotel rooms when you're traveling with your significant other, and we have as much stuff as we do, and there's just stuff all over the entire room. You can't find anything. Things are everywhere. And like men, you're so great. Most of you have one little corner, and our stuff has just exploded over the entire hotel room. So
it's going to be like my skin after I get this makeup off. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, mine's already breaking out. I have CoverGirl I have like 7 pounds of makeup on right now. I'm going through a breakout, not a breakup.
Whoa.
Maybe a breakup
Breaking
after
news.
this. Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
You're not going to buy any more AirPods. What the hell happened?
Oh, is anyone else I'm going back old school strings. I'm done with the AirPods. I'm not.
Why?
One's fallen out. I can't find it. And now I'm out $250. It's always the one. Then it's not charged. Now I can't use the charger because the charger's up in here. It's low battery on the case, but the AirPods are charged. We're not syncing up. I'm going to tell you what's consistent. The ones with the strings, they work. Don't have to charge them, and I can always find them. Keep them attached to the phone, wrap the cord around, call it a day. Thank you, sir. And they're $20. The cost.
You don't feel like a dog on a leash, though?
I got to talk. Is Apple here $250? That is wild. Wild.
I saw a guy on the plane the other day go into the airport bathroom, the airplane bathroom, with his AirPods in. Do you know how dangerous that is? That could so land in the toilet. Are you getting it or are you not?
$250 right there.
Ugh.
See, literally down the drain. That's a real problem. Yeah,
Not great.
Look, I love their products, but I again, going back to maybe I'm irresponsible. I'm not good about putting them right back. And then you don't know who's whose. When I label mine, don't ever lose these. And so when I open them, the name on don't ever lose these, and inevitably I lose them. And then I got Steve's iPod.
You got a real problem with
AirPod.
Connecting too, by the way.
I know. I'm not good with technology. There's a lot of tech experts here this week. I'm going to figure it out, but I just don't like it. I like simple stuff. That's why it's like I feel like I was born in the wrong generation. I'm like my parents. How does this app work?
How was Miami? You did the
Miami's
FIFA
great. World
Cup celebration
Yes,
for Fox.
who's here excited for the World Cup next year? Soccer fans?
Okay.
But this is massive, you guys. I've only covered one World Cup. I covered it when it was in South Africa, and it was incredible. I loved the experience. But the World Cup is massive, and I'm so excited for Fox because, as Ed and we spoke earlier, it expands to 104 matches. So there's 48 teams this year. That's the biggest field they've ever had across 3 nations. And it's going to be huge. And even if you're not a soccer fan, all of the local pubs, you have to keep in mind, too, when the other World Cups that we've had, the time zones have been completely different if you're in the U.S. So hopefully viewership will be what they expect for Fox because I'm very excited. I know we're going to obviously be doing stuff for them as well. So soccer fan or not, it's something that you can get behind, rally around the flag, and support your country. It's going to be really great. So,
I think just when somebody said to me at this other panel I did, it's like doing 3 Super Bowls in one day. That's insane. Because if you think about what goes into one of our Super Bowls that we get ready for, we're there a week early I can't imagine doing 3 in a day, 2 more in a day. That's nuts.
Exactly. So we did a kickoff tour kickoff to the World Cup down in Miami. Shabuzi performed.
How was that? I saw you Shabuziing on the stage.
Shabuzi, he is an entertainer. You can't help but move when you hear his songs. He's a great performer. We had a great time. And this drone show.
I'm Shabuziing through my dress.
I don't know how you even were going to wear tan to begin with. I'm very impressed.
Well, I didn't want to change. The back of it will be soaked. It'll be incredible.
Just say you spilt water on the front of it. You're
fine.
What? You look gorgeous.
Oh, God. Flawless.
You're fine.
Insane. This is what it looks like, again, to do a Bucks game. It's hot.
But you rock that hat situation on a sideline pretty well. Do you ever get to use an umbrella to shield yourself?
I don't want an umbrella. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I need it for my hair dye, though, because that thing starts changing colors out there.
I would feel the only thing I would be adverse on the umbrella is that people were like, "Oh, you're a diva. You have to stand under an umbrella." So I'd be like, "Just deal with it." But the makeup always stays too. It's great.
It's not right now, but that's okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
How are you guys doing out there? Good.
Floral loose. Yes. No kidding.
Do you guys have any of you listen to the podcast? Do you guys have any questions for us? I love a question and answer period. If you don't, that's fine.
Well,
I
never
just
mind.
love an interactive situation.
So do I. Mm-hmm. What? You're gonna raise your hand. Shoot, I can't hear the end.
The majors. Yeah. Yeah, she's asking the big media groups and covering women's sports versus men's sports and how they cover it. Is that the gist of the question? I think I'll speak just for the companies that we work for Fox and Amazon. I mean, incredible. There's no difference in coverage. It's that big now where it's you don't have to alter the way that you cover the sport. It's the same thing. It's the same production trucks. It's the same marketing efforts. It's the same talent. It's everything because as evidenced by the growth in numbers, whether it's the WNBA or women's professional soccer we have on Amazon, it's the World Cup for Fox. Used to be on Fox, now it's moved somewhere else. But there was always the same amount of groundswell and support as you would cover a men's event. So no different at all. And even what Jane was saying too is that only 13% of the sponsorship go to women. So that spotlight needs to be brightened. And as evidenced by the growth of each individual women's sport, I think that it is just maybe moving at more of a glacial pace than we like, but it is happening. But there's no difference in coverage. Yeah.
Yeah, our ratings are up for women, which is huge for us. Obviously makes us so
Viewership.
Excited. I think what's really cool is women aren't as afraid to listen. America's Game of the Week, which is the game I do on Sundays, the demographic is split down the middle. It's the highest rated watched show for women out there, which is amazing for us. But I think the casual fan doesn't feel as afraid to watch professional sports right now, watch the NFL, because our girl Taylor kind of helped out with that. It's cool, which we're excited. We want casual fans. We want fans that don't know a lot. Listen to the podcast, watch our broadcasts. We'll help, teach you the game.
Yeah, speaking of Taylor, anyone that listens to the podcast or knows us knows our affinity for her. We love her so much for so many different reasons. What she is about, who she is as a person, what she's done for the NFL, for female viewership and just viewership in general. But also, I've talked about it before, I have a deep connection with Children's Hospital. My niece suffered a brain tumor, and Children's Hospital was so amazing. Taylor Swift, another thing we do on our podcast is headlines. One of the big headlines I'm leading into is Taylor Swift has sweet moment with patients at Children's Hospital in Florida. We were texting about it when we saw the pictures and stuff come out. Her spending 4 hours there, and everybody talking about how generous and kind she was with the patients. It doesn't take much, but not everyone does that, and just further highlights how special she is and the impact that she can make in each of those sweet babies' lives by just a little bit of time.
Yeah, I was a wreck looking at those videos, bawling my brains out. I thought the coolest thing was seeing the parents. I love her reaction walking in. Hi, I'm Taylor. And the nurses and the doctors, just to spread a little bit of joy to people that need it the most. We love her for it.
We do.
Do you want to talk about some of these other ones? I mean, middle, we might as well address
Let's do it. All right. Here's the headline. Veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers agrees
Did he sign yet?
A 1-year deal with the Steelers. Any Steelers fans out here? Okay. Any Aaron Rodgers fans out here? Okay, here we go.
You're a Steelers fan? Okay.
But you're... He needs to be on a team.
He's an interesting story, yeah, for sure. I think it's fun when he's involved. I also think it's fun when he's playing well.
So the name Aaron Rodgers elicits reaction on either side. You either love him or you hate him. Of course, you and Erin are really good friends and have covered him for years. He's always been great to me. I agree with this Aaron Andrews that I think it's good for football when he's involved.
I do too.
He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's an MVP. He still play at a high level. Obviously, the injuries a few years back, that terrible situation for him, the first game of the year for the Jets was awful. His rehab and everything to get back. I think it says a lot about the guy that his love for the game is so strong that in the face of adversity or controversy, he's like, hey, I just want to play football. And at the end of the day, he's good to cover and he's enjoyable to cover. So whether you love him or you hate him, you'll watch him. And guess what? That's good for the sport.
It's like the Giants being good. You want them to be good. You want Dallas to be good because people love to hate them. So it's fun for everybody. It's great. All right, I like this one. Not that I want this to happen. I exposed my cheating ex at his job. Hello. I was in bed laying next to him when I saw a new message request from a girl who he had been messaging. Her now ex-boyfriend's other love interest shared screens. Okay, what? Wow.
Interest shared screenshot evidence of him sexting. So I ended up cutting out and putting them in an I'm sorry for your loss card, showed up to his work and gave him the card. He opened it, stared at it for a while, and he was clearly embarrassed.
She was his loss.
Yeah,
cool.
She was his loss. I will say this, and my sister won't care that I say this. My sister found out her husband was cheating on her with someone they worked with. And then he ended up marrying her, and my sister stayed working at the job. I said, Jennifer, you are a better person than me. How the hell do you show up to work every day when your husband has cheated on you and now married the girl that you all work with? It's wild behavior. But she is
getting paid well?
She's like, he took my life. He's not going to take my job. And I said, well, I'll give you that, But I'm like, can you imagine?
No.
Me?
Absolutely not.
Oh my God, that 911 would be called. There's no way. Like I said, she's a much better person than me to be able to do that. But I'm all about if you are up to no good, then you should be exposed. I got no problem with that. And if you go to bed at night and you haven't done anything wrong, you can sleep soundly. But then this guy should be called out.
I love it. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
I'm going to call 911 on this dress right now.
Okay.
I'm going to go cool it off.
Yeah, we got it.
You guys, thank you so much for
very,
coming
very
to this. Look at Ed. I can't take it. Look at him.
Woo! Ed, Manchester
Give it up,
City.
Ed.
Thank
Ed,
you guys.
can you go get us a Don Julio on the rock? No, I'm joking.
Be a doll, would
Thank you. Thanks, Ed.
Thank you guys for hanging with us for the last hour. Obviously got some great insight from Ed and from Jane. So if you guys liked anything you heard, listen to the podcast. And if not, then we will see you on an NFL sideline or hosting a pregame show come the season.
Or FIFA World Cup.
Yes,
we'll be doing that too.
Enjoy your guys' week here.
Yeah, have so much fun. Go somewhere cool.